the Beretta M9, except this one is in 22 caliber instead of the usual 9mm or 40. We did a video on 1 and 40 not too long ago, or something similar. Anyway, this one's 22 caliber, and everything else is very similar to the regular M9. We're going to talk about it. We're actually even going to shoot it. Stand by. Right, the Beretta M9 22 caliber long rifle pistol from Beretta. Beretta came out with these, I think, in about 2016, if I remember right. Now, this is actually made by Umarex, or Umarex, however you wish to pronounce it. It is a German manufacturer, but this is actually sold through Beretta USA down in Missouri. And it is a pretty good replica of the M9, except for a couple of things. Number one being the caliber, and number two, the fact that it is lighter, about 26 ounces. So this is about 7 ounces lighter than your regular M9. Everything else is similar to it. Of course, there's no accessory rail on it, but it is a double action, single action pistol with the same shape and feel and size of the M9. It actually even takes the same grip panels as the M9 if you want to change those to something a little bit different. And we're going to shoot it a little bit, and then we'll come back and talk about it. 15 round magazines. I put several different types of ammo through it this morning just to try it out, and it seems to like the CCI Varmint Minimag 36 grain hollow points the best out of what I brought out. So that's what we're going to try out here at, we'll just do 12 yards to start with. And first shot, since it does have a decocker on it, decocker safety, first shot, double action, we're going to go for the little white plate with a red center there on the left side. And let's go right to the plates itself. Right, so far it's run all of those just fine. I did have some ignition problems on some of the other ammunition, but with the CCI Minimag Varmints, it is working just fine. As I mentioned, double action, single action, DASA, double action first shot. And it does have the decocker safety on it, and it's a good thing it does have that double action capability, because I had a number of misfires with Aguila and even some of the Remington it was Viper ammunition. I had some misfires with it, and they usually went off with the second strike of the trigger. Just ran the 10 rounds there just fine out of the CCIs, and they're working okay. Let's see, let's set over for 25 and just see what I can hit over there. All right, again, 4.9 inch barrel. This has a drift adjustable rear sight. It doesn't take a lot to drift adjust it. There's an Allen key right there in the, or Allen screw right there in the center of it. Loosen that, you can move this rear sight side by side. The front sight is just a plain post. It is dovetailed in there. It does come with a second front sight if you want to change the elevation. This one is shooting a little bit high, so I'm aiming at the bottom of the plates. It's a borrowed gun. I want to thank my friend Brent Fisher for loaning another gun for me to try out here. We're not going to change that front sight. The gun, or the sight, is painted green. Not what I would do, but again, it's a borrowed gun. Hey, it does work. All right, 25 yards. Let's just see what it'll do over there. Let's see, it is decocked, so the first shot's going to be double action. We're going to go with the black 12-inch white center on the far left. And it hits that about the 8-inch next to it. 22 is not going to move them a long way. Let's go for the head flipper on the black silhouette. It's not going to move it much if it hits it. And it did move it a little bit. How about the 8-inch plate right below that? And there's a 6-inch to the right of that silhouette. I've got them all, and I thought that should have been 5. Let's go for the white 10-inch way over there on the right. And that was, I miscounted somewhere along the line. Does hold back on the last round of this metal 15 round magazine. It's a little tough to load. The button to pull it down on the left side is small, and it gets tough on the finger after a while. I haven't tried out any of my other 22 mag loaders to see if any one of those will fit on this mag and it'll push down a little easier, but it does get a little tiring on the thumb trying to pull it down for all 15 rounds. But I've got 3 magazines here. I got one more loaded up, so we're going to try it out at 50 yards and just see how this thing works out at 50. Not a 50-yard gun because it's a 22, but still, it's an M9. It ought to work out there. Let's give it a try. I've got another mag loaded up with 15 rounds of the CCI 36 grain mini mag varmint. We're going to see how this works. By the way, this does have just a straight barrel in it, as you can see, if I can get the camera to lighten up a little bit here. You can get an extra barrel that is threaded and has an adapter on it for a suppressor. That is an extra cost option on this particular gun. And it does have a polymer guide rod. But again, so far it seems to be working. It feels like an M9, but 7 ounces lighter. All right, 50 yards. Just because I think we can. And again, we're going to start out double action on the first shot. So let's go for the silver gong on the left. Okay, it hits it about the 16-inch high right, white with the green center. 12-inch below it, white with the red center. 10-inch, kind of in the middle there, high, white with the black center. 8-inch below that, white with the red center. I'm aiming quite a bit under it here. There we go. Alright, there is a 6-inch white one to the left of that, right next to the silver gong. Any chance I can hit it with this? That green sight doesn't do me any favors here. There we go. Back to the gong. Alright, it's working, and 30 rounds from the CCI mini mags and not one single hiccup with it. That I kind of like. Okay, again, a good training pistol if you're using a Beretta 92 or an M9. This does work well for it. The trigger feels the same. It is a lighter gun, of course, hardly any recoil with the 22, but everything else works the same with it. And it's certainly an affordable alternative to the 9mm model. It does work very well. It's a good training gun. And let's see, these things, if I remember right, they retail for, you know, somewhere around the 4.5 mark, maybe a little less than that. You can generally find these for well under 400. So again, a good training alternative to the M9 or Beretta 92. So just a quick look at a borrowed gun out here, and I kind of like it. And if I was going to get, comes the wind again. And pardon the wind in the background, but it's a breezy day out here. I didn't put up a remote mic, so we're stuck with the one on the camera. But if I were to want to do more training with something similar to an M9 to get more practice with it, or the Beretta 92, this would certainly be a good alternative. All right, quick look at the Beretta M9 caliber 22 made by Umarex in Germany, but has a really good feel to it and kind of like it out here in Riders Range. Thanks for stopping in.